Alright, I got something in the mail from Rev today, and as you can see, my little daughter has already been into it, so I don't think it did anything to it.
Why is my little daughter already into it?
Because you got into the box. You were so excited for the box. Oh, look at that. Hey, awesome. Ooh, nice. Oh, beautiful. This is so light. I'll take it inside and get a more detailed look. Look at that. Missed the box. Man, that foot twist is super light too. That's not gonna add almost any weight to your pedal board. Wow. Hey, I'm Nate Savage with GuitarFam.com, and I have a confession for you. I have not owned a tube amp in over 4 years. And as someone who makes their living playing music and teaching guitar, that just feels really weird to me. So I wanted to share this story with you. It's the story of how I almost completely gave up on tube amps for a variety of reasons, and how I've been redeemed back to the light. Now, I've had a lot of tube amps over the years, a lot of Mesa F-Series stuff, a lot of PV Classic workhorse amps, and my most recent amp that I had 4 years ago was a Rivera Knucklehead that I had always wanted. It was an older amp, it was awesome, and it literally blew up on me. I was really disappointed, and I kind of got fed up with having to pay to have tube amps repaired and retubed. And full transparency, there is a tube amp down there. It's my wife's Blues Junior, it's not mine, and I just paid to have it retubed and repaired. Now, since then, around the same time, I became a dad, and we just added another little one about 3 months ago, and my priorities have just changed. And I can't really use a tube amp anyways, not properly, because I live in a small 2-bedroom apartment with a 4-year-old and a 3-month-old, and there's just no way that I could crank it enough to use it properly. This is where the REVV D20 MK2 amp comes in. Derek from REVV reached out to me and said, "Hey Nate, we got some new amps coming out. You want to check one out?" I was like, "Absolutely, I do." I had taken notice of the D20 about 4 years ago around this time, that all this stuff was changing my life. I was like, man, that just looks like an awesome solution for my workflow at home, having kids, all of these things that we'll talk about for the rest of this video. Now, I have 4 main reasons why the D20 was so intriguing to me. The first one is that it's supposed to be an awesome pedal platform. And I've just been on a tear for the past 2 years, buying, selling, horse trading, collecting drive pedals mostly. And everything you hear in this video is the D20 set to like just push, just breaking up just a little bit, and then a drive pedal pushing it. That's all it is. All the effects you hear are posts. I'm going directly out of the D20 into my Apollo Twin and then into Logic, and I'm using HX or Helix Native for all the effects you hear. It is 10 o'clock. Both kids are in bed, and I'm set up here. Let's just go through some tones real quick. Okay, here is dry, nothing but straight into the amp. Hit it hard. Hit it soft. Awesome. Neck. Same thing, hit it soft. Very responsive, right? The first thing I put on usually is a Timmy, just a boost pedal, always on pedal, just to kind of sweeten things off. It's more kind of felt than heard maybe for you. Sometimes I use a little compressor, kick that on too. Same thing, kind of felt more than heard. That is a Keeley Compressor Plus. So that's kind of my clean to dirty, depending on how hard I dig in. And with that basic kind of platform, the 3 main IRs that I've been using are number 4 here that I've got loaded, and that's just a 212 open back vintage 30 Celestion IR with a 121 and a 57 on it. I find that's pretty even. Then I really like the 112, the stock one that came with it. A little bit more prominent mids for like a 112 open cab. Right? And then I really like this vintage 3412 Celestion IR too. That's what I use for like heavier tones. It's a little bit, got more thump to it. Still 57 and a 121, but those are the main three IRs that I ended up using. For like my next level of gain there, it's just a King of Tone, and this one's really cool because it still feels clean, right? But I mean, that's not clean. And that's the main tone you heard on the clean parts throughout this video. There's another one at the end, and then the bridge. My slightly pushed, still cleanish tone. And then the other side of the King of Tone in as well. Right. Now before this, what I've been using mostly is Tonex directly in to my audio interface, and then again using Helix Native for all the effects and everything. And it's great, it's versatile, but I gotta tell you, man, it is just not the same. Especially after 4 years of not playing a tube amp, plugging into this thing and actually turning the knobs and seeing how it reacts, and how it reacts particularly to pedals, overdrive and distortion pedals, and how it brings out a different character has really been refreshing for me. So the question really is this a great pedal platform amp or not? And I would say an emphatic yes. It reminds me a lot of a Deluxe Reverb, but it's a lot more versatile because of the speaker cab options, the virtual speaker cabinets, or being able to plug it directly into any other type of speaker, vintage 30, creamback, whatever you want. It's very easy to just plug straight in, adjust your gain and your EQ depending on what guitar you're using, and be happy right away. The second reason the D20 was so intriguing to me was the weight. I've had some serious back injuries in the past, and the last thing I want to do is be lugging around a 5150 half stack like I used to do when I was 16, 17, 18, you know. And this thing, I gotta tell you, it's awesome. If you look in the unboxing video, I picked it up with my pinky. It's 15.5 pounds. It weighs less than my pedal board. I can show up to a gig if I'm going direct, amp in one hand, pedal board, gig bag, and if I have to, I'll bring a cab, you know, like a 112 or something like that. But you know, honestly, right now, I don't even own a cab. Everything you hear on this video, or everything you've heard lately on the Guitar Fam channel that's electric, it's been just direct the XLR right out of the back of the D20 with a cabinet emulation. For a mid-gain kind of thing, I usually go with a Zen Drive. And I'll just flip through these IRs real quick. That's the 212. Here's the stock 112. And I love that one's really open sounding. So if you're not doing anything much aggressive and you want something really open, that one's really wonderful. But if you want something a little more thumpy and heavy, the 412. Quite a bit more in your face, right? But the one I prefer is kind of right in between the two, the 212 V30. So I think that sounds really good. The other thing that I use a lot is just an Angry Charlie for like really soaring leads. And then if I need something a little more aggressive and kind of metal-y, I have a Jekyll Hyde pedal down here that I was using for some of the stuff. And take the compressor off. Usually it's the more aggressive side of this. And there's one more down here. It's a Swollen Pickle Fuzz pedal. I'm not really a fuzz guy, but I really like the way this one sounds and the way it interacts with the amp, and I take all the pedals, compressor, Timmy off for that one. is absolutely nasty with that. So hopefully that gives you an idea of how this amp responds to a variety of drive pedals and how dynamic it is. We can have drive pedal on it, it really reacts to you picking soft or picking hard. The third and most significant reason is because you do not have to plug into a speaker to use a tube amp. And you know, I don't care what anyone says, plugging into a modeler and plugging into a tube amp just feels different, and so different in fact that it took me a little while to get used to it, because like I said, I haven't used a tube amp in 4 years. Just how the controls react and everything just took a little while to get used to. The way the REVV makes this possible is through an internal load that's in the amp. You can switch to that instead of playing through a speaker, and then they have a built-in 2 notes reactive load and IR emulator, which means you can use impulse responses preloaded on your amp. There's 6 slots for them, which I just found really awesome. All the ones on there sounded great. What I ended up doing is I left 3 of the stock ones because I really like them, but I also have other ones that I really like that I'm kind of used to. So I took 3 of the slots and loaded up some of my favorite Celestion IRs, just the ones from the Celestion website. And for a dad of 2 little ones who can't ever crank anything up, being able to get the feel and the sound of a tube amp late at night or whenever is just awesome for me. And this, along with the weight of the D20, is what kind of prompted me to christen the D20 Mark II as the ultimate dad amp. The fourth big advantage of the D20 is that I don't get option paralysis nearly as much when I use something like the HX Stomp or the Tonex. I can spend an hour hunting for tones. What happens is I'll plug Tonex in, and then I'll go hunting for a tone on ToneNet, and I think, oh, I can get better, I can get better, I can get better. When if I would have just, you know, play the guitar and played the part, I could have done it an hour ago and moved on to other things. And yes, you can get kind of option paralysis or bogged down with the IRs on the D20, but you don't have to. The ones that come on it sound fantastic, and they cover a wide enough range for any style of music. And you can load the ones that you like already if you want to, but it's not nearly as big of a black hole as something like different tone models or captures. I did not think that I would be able to get back into tube amps for a very long time until my girls were older, you know, 10 years from now, or we had enough resources to buy our own place. But REVV made it possible. The technology in this little amp is really fantastic, and 10 years ago it would have never even been on my radar, but thanks to companies like REVV and 2 Notes, I haven't given up on tube amps just yet. Thanks to REVV, and thank you for watching this video. Let me know what some of your favorite modern tube amplifiers are and the features that are on them in the comments below. And if you haven't yet, go to guitarfam.com and create your complimentary account. Every Guitar Fam member gets one personal private one-on-one video lesson with me. See you there.